All right, good evening, witches, and welcome to Witches and Midnight Margaritas. We are here tonight talking about more divination tools that you can bring into your practice, and what you see before you is a pendulum. And a pendulum can be used for divination because it can give you all sorts of answers. We usually use it for yes or no, but there are ways of getting other answers for questions you may or may not have. And by the way, divination isn't always about the future. Sometimes it's about the past, sometimes it's about the present. So the most important thing to do is get yourself a pendulum if you want to try this.
Yeah, you'll need one of them for sure.
So this one is, kind of fancy, but
Doesn't have to be,
it
though.
doesn't have to be. As long as you have something of weight at the end of a string or chain, you have a pendulum. You can use your necklace, for crying out loud.
You can. You can use a necklace. You can use a ring
Yeah, absolutely.
on a string or whatever. That works too.
So the first thing you want to do, and you want to do this every time you use it, is you want to attune it to you. And by that, I mean, you're going to ask it two questions, one that you know is the truth and one that you know is a lie. But, well, you're not going to ask the question, you're going to state something. Like, the sky is orange. You know that's a lie, right? So watch what happens to the pendulum when you say that. And then you say the sky is blue, which is the truth, and see what happens with that. And then that gives you your gauge about what's going on. So we're actually going to demonstrate that because I talked way too much. Okay. So I'm gonna go down this way. Okay.
So, the sky is orange.
Okay, so you'll notice that was her untruthful. So it's going side to side. And then you steady it.
The sky is blue.
And now it's going back and forth. So for her, the yes is this way, the no is this way.
Right.
So this pendulum is attuned to her now. And so when you do this, it doesn't necessarily need to be swinging. It can be going round and round, right?
And it could go this way for yes or no, and then it could go the other way.
Yeah. Or it could go in a circle for yes and back and forth for a no. Like, it's just attuning it to you and your energies, right? And you want to try to hold it as still as possible. I mean, it's not always easy, we all get the shakes and do whatever. But that's how you attune it to you. So now that we know through her, if she wanted to ask any questions that were yes or no in nature, it's attuned and she could get those answers.
Yeah.
So the other cool thing, and we have this cute little thing, I'm just going to grab it here, is this little pendulum thing. Now you can use this for all sorts of things. We use it for pendulum work. Now when you do this, you don't necessarily have to attune it to yourself. You could just jump right in and do it. You can make this on paper if you like for whatever you want. So this one's got no, maybe, yes, rephrase the question, days of the week, numbers, and your zodiac, right? So you don't necessarily have to attune it to yourself when you're using something like this, because you could just kind of hold it dangling in the center and be like, hey, is that hot guy gonna ask me out? Rephrase. Is Bubba gonna ask me out? No. Okay, moving on. Do you know what I mean? Or if you're looking for something that's gonna happen, like, when's my garbage gonna get picked up? Oh, it's gonna get picked up Monday. Whatever. This gives you more options for times, for yes or no, for times, for any numbers you may need, and some zodiac stuff too. Like, who's my soulmate? And then it's like, oh, it's a Libra. Holy, I'll be looking for a Libra. I don't know. Pendulum work is actually really cool because it doesn't really cost anything.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, don't get us wrong. We practice a lot of witchcraft, so we buy a lot of things. You don't need to.
No, you don't have to.
You don't need to. You could.
We just like to.
Yeah, we just like to because we like fancy, spooky things. But you could take off your necklace and use that.
Yeah, you can.
Or yeah, you were saying put a ring.
Put a ring on string works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just attune it to your energies.
Or thread or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Right? And you'll see there's a lot of old wives' tales and stuff with like a string and a needle in front of a babe mama's tummy.
And that actually works.
Yeah, right? Because it's just reading energy. You just got to attune it to you and what works for you, right? So now, whenever we do pendulum work, we actually every time ask, or not ask, but state a truth and a false to see if it doesn't change. Now, mine always go back and forth.
Mine always do
like
too.
hers, but some people do go round and round. So then you know, okay, it's going clockwise. That's a yes for me, you know.
It's going counterclockwise, it's a no.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a really great tool because it's really quick. And there's times that we'll be practicing and be like, I don't know, grab the pendulum. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, quick, attune it and then just go because it is so quick and so easy to do. Yeah.
A lot of the time you just want a yes or a no answer.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It just gives you that yes or no answer.
Exactly. And speaking of which, guys, when you're looking for yes or no answers, don't discount cheesy things. Like if you got yourself a magic 8-ball, then you got yourself a magic 8-ball. We have to go buy a magic 8-ball now because we don't have one. But I mean, those work.
Yeah, they do.
They work. Decks of cards work. Flipping a coin works.
Yeah, it does.
That's why these things happen. And that's why these things exist, because people are like, oh, I'm going to leave it to chance, or it's heads I'll do it, tails I won't. These are really easy ways to divine things, like flipping a coin, easy. You know, is this going to happen Saturday? Heads, yes. Tails, no. Okay, there we go. Then you have your answer. But pendulum work is actually really fun, and it's really quick and easy. And
I rely on my pendulum a lot, just because I like those yes and no answers.
Me too. Me too. And if you're more of a seasoned witch, not saying you have to be seasoned for this, but when you buy pendulums, like you can get ones with like crystals on the end for certain energies. This is just, just a bead, right? I just thought it was pretty fancy when we got it, right? But you can do that. Like a lot of people, what do I see? Amethyst?
Amethyst is my favorite. Yeah, I have an amethyst.
Is that what yours is?
Yeah.
So, and that's important too, because if like say for instance, she's very in tune with amethyst, that'll give her like more energy with her answers.
Better answers, yeah.
Way better answers. So you don't have to buy fancy things by any stretch of the imagination. You don't have to buy this thing. We just did because we like to buy things.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we like to buy things, but you don't need to. If you want something like this, you can do it on paper.
Yeah, you sure can.
This can just be string and a nut or bolt. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is.
But if you want to buy stuff like this, by all means, just make sure when you get it, like with all tools, you should cleanse them because you never know where they've been. We'll talk about that in another video. And then attune it. Every time you use it, attune it.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because you may not get the right answers if you don't attune it. So you just need to know what is yes and what is no for you.
Exactly.
At that time.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what we got for pendulum. Nothing overly spooky, but we tried.
Yeah,
we tried. We're spooky on our own.
Yeah, we are.
All right, guys, have a good night.
Have a good night.